Okay, good evening. Welcome to March 14th, 2024 planning board meeting. The first item on the agenda is a conceptual, but I'm going to say a little blurb first. Mr. Cleary wrote this letter to us. I have several clients that have used Mr. Cleary in the past. I don't know how many, at least 3 that I have to go real fast. Well, 4 counting that Condex I did in Peterborough.
Oh, okay.
At least 4, but anyway. I'm not gonna step down for this conversation, I just let everybody know that there is a little bit of fast, unless Mr. Cleary wants me to step down.
I do not. And it has been a while since we've had it together.
Come on up. Tell us what you're trying to do here.
Okay. We got, this is authorization.
Oh, now you gotta come up here, step up to the microphone and say your name and all that kinda good stuff. We have a huge live audience in Ware. At least 1 or 2 sometimes.
Well, I was gonna have the client present the proposal, but I know you want this owner authorization because
Yes.
we're under contract.
Okay.
So submit it here?
Yep.
Thank you.
You wanna give them a brief overview?
Hi, my name's Jenny Freeman, and I have a partner, Jackie Tohar, who is a horse trainer, and she does everything between take horses that are green and bring them under saddle to pretty high-level dressage. She's a bronze medalist herself. And together, we've arranged SBA financing and bank, Farm Credit East, to purchase this property with the idea to bring it back to what it did before the the current owner has been doing, which is training and boarding horses. We have some horses that are going to be coming with us from the Massachusetts area, but we also already have 5 tours of the barn with Jackie's pretty well known in the Northeast to be coming from the local community. We'll probably do just about what we've been doing in Massachusetts, except for in a nicer environment, which is, bring in horses with people that want to both train themselves and their horses, and then also have some school horses of our own for people more local that want to train with Jackie. So that's what we're planning to do. She's got a young family, a 1-month-old, which is why I'm here and she's not. So they're going to be moving into the house, and their junior trainer is going to be in the other little apartment portion of the property. And we're starting out with 2 people that are going to work part-time that have been with us for a while, but we're looking at phasing that out and bringing in some people from around here. So that's the plan.
How many employees are you envisioning?
Well, the property really will support nicely 25, maybe 30 horses. It wouldn't be more than that. There's 25 stalls, and if you juggle things, you could keep some of our own horses out all the time, like horses. But right now we have basically Jackie and 2 employees, plus more that are really significant employees, and then we have 2 people that are very part-time that help with the stalls. That we'd be looking for the immediate community right away. So 2 full-time, 3 part-time, probably going to 2 full-time over the next year or so when we get cranking.
Do you have any idea how big the septic system is?
There's 2 different septic systems. One is, they're both 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
And we looked at parking, because we may have some clinics, where Jackie's always had clinics, where she's got an Olympic judge that she knows very well that has done clinics for her in the past, and then another guy that was on the Brazilian Olympic qualifiers, and another, gold medalist in the dressage community. So it would probably do clinics, maybe every other month, maybe every month, depending on demand. I don't think there would be more than that we'd have more than 8 horses that would be brought in specially for that. And sometimes people bring their own horses in from the local area so that they can be trained by these experts or, critiqued. But never more than, I would say 20 people, maybe 25 max. And never, I doubt if it would be more than once a month ever, and probably every other month in the beginning.
Other than the houses, are there restrooms anywhere else?
Yeah, each of the cottages, there's these weird cottages that are attached that actually are, the current employees are gonna stay at. But there's 3 bathrooms there, there's another outside bathroom, there's another bathroom in the, in this, in-law apartment that is attached to the house. So I think there's a total of 6 bathrooms.
That, other than the ones, those aren't in
No,
the
there's
houses?
one that's actually on the outside area that is where the people from the barn would go. It's a half bath with a separate, toilet, sink.
Does that have its own leach field, or does it go into?
No, that's part of the house is with the 4-bedroom septic here, and the little cottages and the in-law apartment is on the other 4-bedroom septic. So that's how it works.
Bruce? Remember this, we just did a subdivision on that not too long ago.
Correct.
Correct.
We ought to hear it with the same.
We had that, there's no Title V here like there is in Massachusetts, but we had it inspected, and one of the tanks seems cracked, and we have we are having money put in escrow for us to do that right away, so. The leach fields all look fine.
How would you park 25 people?
Well, I made a little picture, I don't know if we sent it to you, if we just have it, but there's a big circular, there's a place in the front for about 10 cars, and then around the circle, it's a pretty wide circle, you can probably get another 10 cars that way, and if you had an overflow in any way, you can go down the side.
25?
There's plenty of space.
That's the circle. See what circle I see?
You allowed to look at,
Oh, yeah.
Sally,
And that's without any kind of like parking in a field or anything strange, it's just very straightforward. That's what they used to do evidently when they had a whole Lusitano boarding, training, breeding facility there at one point.
.402 Old Francistown. Yeah. Yeah. Down by Howard.
Yeah, I think she probably has enough parking.
Yeah, there's a lot of parking. I mean, like I said, you don't have to go into any of the,
You got the parking covered.
yeah.
You can have any, like, special events in summer at all?
this is-
Well,
this
like I
is,
said, we're gonna feel out what the summer camp is gonna be like. They're not gonna be overnight camps. They'll be like, what camp, meaning come and go for kids and adults that want to spend 6 hours a day with horses for, most of the time you do that on a 5-day schedule, and so a week. Sometimes people do 2 weeks, but that's the plan. The horses, when, in this kind of an environment, if you've got, if you've got 25 horses and 5 of them are ours, generally, you won't have more than 1 or 2 clients in the barn at the same time. Everybody kind of likes to be, have independent riding in their facility, so it kind of works.
I guess I don't have a problem, like, drawing a line that there's no overnight. As soon as you want to have
You realize it's
overnight
conceptual, right?
accommodations. Huh?
You realize it's conceptual,
Yeah, I know.
she doesn't know that, okay.
But as soon as you would have, like, overnight accommodations, overnight camping or whatever you did.
Yeah,
something
no,
for a
no,
weekend
no.
Overnight, then you need to come back here.
Yeah.
But if it's just day stuff, I'm okay with it. I think it's.
I have a little bit of a problem with the septic. If you have a 4-bedroom septic, when you got a 4-bedroom house, you got 3 bed cottages plus an in-law apartment in the other one.
If it's day stuff, they're not taking showers. not doing laundry.
And they're not really, and they're not really inhabited, really. I mean, the way we're using them now is
Why-
for
that's why I
the
said if you
girls
draw a
that
line.
are, the girls that work, are gonna come up and mostly go back home to Massachusetts, but if they stay over, somebody may stay overnight in the cottage during the transition period. That is correct.
One other question may
But it's an
have an
employee.
effect on, is there any drains in any of the floors, like where you wash horses or anything?
There's
Little
gray
washbowl?
water coming out of the barn, where there's a wash stall, like any barn.
Yeah.
But that goes into the leach field that accommodates the,
Okay.
I actually did not explore that aggressively.
Because that,
It's been like that for the last, I don't
yeah, I know,
know.
but if you're gonna use it more, and people are gonna,
Yeah, I
horses
don't
work-
think that- I
horses
don't
get
think-
worked
I
out, they
don't
want to
think-
hose them off. Potentially a lot of water dumping down there.
Correct.
Is what you're proposing more than what they've been doing?
It's more than what they've been doing now since 2016.
What's the comparison?
But before then, was doing exactly the same thing. They
Right.
brought in, they had the barn full with Lusitanos. In fact, they also bred them, so it was more substantial. And they had people in the cottages coming from Portugal that would stay for, that would be doing the clinics. And so it was more than what we're proposing.
Okay.
In my opinion, conceptually, I can say I don't have an issue with it, except I would like to see the septic runoff, whatever you wanna call it, explored a little further. When you're gonna have to come in for a site plan anyway. So I think then we can explore that pretty quick.
What do you mean a site plan? I'm confused.
We notify abutters what's gonna happen, you have.
Okay.
And to be honest, this is probably a good enough plan in where.
Okay. No, that, I'm just curious.
I knew you were gonna ask me about that.
How old are the septic designs? Those would help too, if you get, because those have site details on them.
No, I'm just saying, we ought to look
Yeah.
at them, that's all,
Yeah.
and we could do that.
Yeah,
with
no,
something.
I mean, I can give you the inspection report and all that. We just had it inspected. Like I said, one of them was cracked and we're replacing that, and the other one was declared to be perfect shape, and that, so, but that's available.
But the use itself sounds okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's an agricultural use which the state and the town love. We were hoping that you would find that this didn't rise to the level of site plan because she's not doing any construction improvement whatsoever. It's just basically going back to the,
Yeah, with the increased use on those, on the site, parking is, we want to look at, and then where the water goes, if you're gonna, if you're bringing in 8 more horses on a weekend, I mean,
But it's not
potential-
increased from what it was. In fact, it's decreased from what it was historically. I mean, they had, very substantial people, because they were bringing in people from Portugal, and it was like a Lusitano haven. It was quite a bit more than what we're proposing, especially in the near term. I mean, this first year, we're just getting up and running. We're not gonna be doing anything to the level of what was previously before the current resident that just, bought it as a home.
and here's the concern, but obviously we're not concerned about site plan. The seller wants this to close March 28th. So the horses will be coming if we buy it.
March 30th.
Yeah, no, March 20th.
29th, maybe.
So we need to make a decision, Jenny needs to make a decision on this acquisition, which I think is a great opportunity for Ware, with employees and supplying from local hay vendors and whatnot. Is there any submissions besides site plan approval that would satisfy the board? If we satisfy certain key issues? Because you do have in your regulations that, you've got a couple flexible options besides site plan approval.
Well, the same farm was at this board how long ago?
Pre-2017.
Wasn't that long ago?
No,
Oh,
she
recently.
tried to divide it into 5 acres. Before she decided she would sell it, she tried to take off a 5-acre parcel for a home and then sell the rest.
Right.
And that was denied, or there was some issues with it. And so she just decided to sell the whole parcel, which is where we came in.
And you say
I thought we approved
the,
that.
the activity at that time was,
It required monuments.
Yeah.
There was some level of complexity that she didn't want to deal with.
Okay,
But, yeah, I think
okay,
our.
now I remember.
That wasn't us.
I mean, if there's a delay in this working, I'm not sure our SBA funding will be in place. So I was hoping that it was the same as they'd been doing before, which is only not as much, so I kinda didn't think that would be a.
I mean, how many people on a typical day would be there when you have when these Brazilians come?
An event every other month,
Yeah.
I would say, in general, 8 to 10, could be as much if they brought their kids.
Okay, and
It could be, could be 20
are any of the houses being inhabited
now, or
once you buy it?
Jackie and her family, she has 4 kids, they're gonna be living
They're
in
gonna
the
be
house.
in one house, right?
In the house, and the junior trainer is gonna be living in the in-law apartment. And,
That's just one person, they have a family?
no, it's just one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the other cottages?
Well, if one of the other people that are helping us now needs to stay over, during this transition period, then they would stay in one of the cottages. We've got 2 young girls that are helping us now, and that would be, if they came up on a Tuesday, they might stay Wednesday night, work Wednesday, and then, so they might be overnight.
But
But it would not be, we're not filling up the cottages with people, and it would not be anybody except for, 1 or 2 women who are employed by the company.
yeah, my biggest concern is the water coming through the floor drains, the wash bay. I'm suspicious that was not shown on one of the septic plans.
Just for the record, because I just looked into all this,
Yeah.
is that it takes, washing a horse is about half a human shower.
Yeah, but if you only got 8 bedrooms worth of septic systems and you're using 6 of the bedrooms already, it doesn't take much more to get up there.
The bathrooms in the cottages are not going to be used routinely. They might be used once a week or twice a week, but one of them may be used once a week or twice a week. We're not gonna keep 3 cottages filled, plus the house. That's not the plan.
as part of this sale, were these systems all inspected?
Yes,
So they're all in good shape?
no, the one septic system
It's a broken
has a cracked tank
Tank.
that we uncovered.
Yeah.
And we've got the people who are coming to do that is the day she moves out.
Okay, so that's gonna be
That's
repaired?
gonna be fixed, correct. And all the leach fields were inspected and they were found to be good.
Right.
And,
How big of a tank are they putting in, do you know?
1,500.
Okay.
Because right now it's at 1,250, but I told them to put in at 1,500.
So when you wash the horses, where are you washing them?
That's what I said, you got a wash bay with a drain that goes in the septic system.
No,
If you're washing a horse, I'm thinking you're in a field and
No,
you're
no, they
spraying
gotta-
the thing down. You're not,
No, you're in it goes just out and it just goes out.
are you washing them on the
outside.
ground?
Yeah, I mean, the
Outside.
wash stall is in the barn,
Yeah.
and then there's another, or you wash them with the hose right outside, but when it's.
There's
when
a
it's-
drain, probably, he said there's a drain in the floor in the wash stall.
But it just goes out to it just goes out,
I think you're,
To
I
the-
think you're spraying off a horse. How many people wash their cars
Goes to
every day in
daylight,
the
doesn't go
road?
to the septic.
Oh, what, she said it went to the septic
I
system.
said, what, no, I said it's gray water, it just goes out there,
It's out into the, on the
Okay.
ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
I misunderstood what he said, I thought he said it was
Yeah.
tied into the septic system.
No,
She did too.
I'm sorry.
Well, you use the term gray water and that's
Yeah.
kind of,
I think that's what triggered it.
yeah, that's what it
Horse rinse, whatever they call
is.
it.
Yeah. I'm washing my car.
Yeah, with
It's
that.
not tied to the septic system.
No, it's not. It goes out into the ground right there.
Yep.
And in fact, it's not even, I think it's on ground, not even cement, so.
Yeah.
And if the board needed a letter on the septic issue, I think we could supply that, if that's the issue.
we've done in the past is, we'd like a letter describing just what exactly the use is gonna be.
That was in, wasn't that in the summary behind?
Okay. So that gives us that gives us a benchmark, and once you get beyond that, like if you're doing anything overnight,
Right.
or any, or that,
Yep.
you'd have to definitely come back for site plan. for
Only
that.
agree.
No,
Yeah.
that's not the plan.
You know, once you're doing the summer camps, I mean, sometimes it's pretty easy to be doing them overnight before you know it.
Yeah.
No, no, trust
Well,
me.
if this grows, if it goes well, Jenny, you'll
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And summer camp means 4 kids, it doesn't mean 20. I mean, no. We only have 5 horses for school.
Yeah, I grew up around here, and my sister used to go to summer camp and bring her horse with her, and so did 100 other kids.
My sister went to summer camp, horse camp too. A lot of horses, a lot of kids.
No, I think last summer we had,
It's a 23 acre parcel of land, you know, it's got a antique house and barn on it, it's a really nice piece of property. Jenny would really like to acquire it. We don't think the use is any more intense than the previous use. We know the current owner hasn't been using it the same way, but it really is just a horse farm.
in between, somebody was having weddings there, by the way, so it was very.
Yeah, we kinda told the last owner that, that was, they need to come for site plan for that.
That was bizarre.
And I've told Jenny the limit, as I see it, on tipping over.
Yeah, yeah.
But I saw this as pretty straightforward agricultural, low-intensity use.
My only concern is that she is not using the cottages or the in-law apartment, and all of a sudden, 6 months from now, somebody wants to give her $1,500 a month to rent the cottage, and somebody else gives her $1,500 a month, and suddenly she's getting $4,000 a month and for renting the things out. And I wouldn't blame her for taking it.
We would not do that without coming back. That's not I mean, I don't know.
That's
People
not a
do that all the
question
time.
for this right now. I mean,
Well,
that's-
it is when you go into the septic situation.
Right. Jackie and her family, it's
I mean,
a compensation, right? It's part of her compensation
Oh,
to
yeah,
live there.
absolutely.
Same thing with the in-law apartment.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not, there's not a rental center.
No, not good, no. Right now, it's being rented. I don't know if that's good or bad or otherwise. We have zero intention. In fact, I have a piece of paper that very specifically goes to the SBA saying we have no intention on renting it. And it's exclusively owner occupied.
Right.
So, I mean, that's part of our deal. It has to be. So, that's not an option on the funding.
Until you pay the bank off, which is a long way out.
Well, that kind of alleviated some of that concern, that's for sure. With out of the 6 bullets that require us, or trip the trigger for a site plan, 5 of them are expansion and construction and modifications and that kind of thing. Only one says, any change in use of a site or structure where such change is materially or substantially different from the previous use such that a significant effect on the, that's a lot of words, on the quantitative and qualitative requirements of these regulations or the zoning words. So, that's the only way we could ask for a site plan.
Right,
And the overnight thing would trigger that.
right.
Yeah, the overnight thing will trigger that.
Yep.
I guess the question is, when is it substantially different? I don't
And
know.
what does previous mean? Does it mean the immediately previous or any previous? Because the one right before
To
was
me,
using
that'd
it
be-
exactly.
Well-
To me, that's the previous use.
Okay,
Immediately.
There's a 1-year statute of limitations for like previous use, so if it hasn't been carried on in a year, then it's
okay, got it.
like not grandfathered
Either way,
anymore.
it is going from whatever.
It's a horse farm and it's gonna stay a horse farm.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, I mean, we
It's
just.
agriculture, it's an agricultural
More
district.
horses is what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And it's gotta be materially or substantially different, and I didn't see that.
So no one will sleep over. No one's gonna sleep over going home. Spending the night, get the hell out. All right. So that's what you need to do, get the hell out. You're not staying here.
Well, for what it's worth, our funding's contingent on that too, so I mean.
And the other thing you may want to consider, if you have a big event, if you're gonna have a big weekend event, get some porta potties.
Sure.
It would,
That's a good idea, yeah.
you know, I'm not saying, you know, as a standard procedure, but if you're gonna have, you know, some super big event for a couple weekends of summer, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great,
Yeah, no, thank you, yeah, that's fair. There's also those, the non-flush, non-water.
Yeah, the
toilet.
waterless toilets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Composting toilets.
yeah, composting toilets.
They're all gonna work.
As soon as the bugs show up, people don't want to use them.
They're a lot of work.
Porta potty, okay, sold.
The nice ones, yeah, the nice
They're
ones.
not that expensive.
No, they are. Well, I originally was thinking she needed to come in for a site plan, but I think I'm convinced we don't need to.
Okay.
What's everybody else thinking?
I think it's within its purpose. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with the overnight limitation, you know, I mean.
Well, yeah,
that would-
I'm assuming no overnight and,
yeah, That would
she
definitely
said
trigger
no
the site plan.
owner
thing.
occupied, so
Yeah.
that kinda gets out of the renting thing somewhat with the
Yep.
mortgage, or whatever it was.
Yeah, and they intend to be here a long time, so if they want to live by their word to you.
Yeah, it's a young family, I mean, I'm old, but they're young, and so it's gonna be, it's a nice place to bring up kids as opposed to, Harvard, Massachusetts, which is
Ugh.
pretty snobby.
Anywhere Massachusetts.
Well, not Western Mass,
Yeah.
at least not yet.
Depends.
And again, look at some of the prices in
Should
Duck
we make a
Pond
motion, or
Estates.
should we just say you don't need to come in?
You just say you don't need to come in, I think.
Works for me. You're good.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep.
And good luck.
Come out and see the horses at some point.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
See,
drive
they
by
got
there.
we're looking for local folks to go.
Now, I'm sorry, you were saying what type of training?
Well, dressage, but also hunter jumper, but she also brings horses under saddle.
So is
from-
dressage, forgive the ignorance, is that the
That's
jumping,
fancy-
is
no,
that
no,
the jumping
No,
stuff?
that's the fancy,
Fancy
like,
truck.
make them look really pretty.
Oh,
And,
it's like the Lipizzato stallions?
yeah,
Ah,
And they do this with their feet.
got it,
that's true.
got it.
I saw old Beverly Hillbillies and Granny didn't
But-
like it.
We don't have much of that out here.
No, but but also she's bringing, she did within this Mustang Marathon where they have to take wild horses and then they have to do them, to where they can ride them within 100 days.
Oh, really?
And she was in that little competition and actually did very well.
That could be a
We might have a
challenge.
couple of Mustangs there too, so.
That's more our style, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yep, thank you.
We got minutes somewhere.
That's what we're going to next?
Yeah, I got 'em right here.
The only question I had was on line 59.
Oh, you didn't get the clock. 59?
Uh-oh.
My name's spelled right.
So, if we go back to 58, and this ordinance will limit their use sitting on any limit, whether it be empty lot. I think limit should be lot.
Yeah,
Well, yes. Limit on 59 should be.
the first limit, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Lot on line 59 should, limit on lot 59 should be lot, yes. Whew, that's hard to say.
Make a motion to accept the January 25th minutes as amended.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? I can't appoint somebody.
No.
No, it's Benji that's missing.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with the master plan? That's in the other business.
You got that letter you're gonna do something with.
The Divine Helmet letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there history with this?
I No, right now, I
Person?
believe 64 Brown Lake Road is just a home. And they're looking at buying it and using it, as it says right there, community-based residences and for intellectually and developmentally delayed or impaired adults. It sounds to me like it's similar to what Nichols Road for Hesper East.
Right.
East is.
So if this is a single-family home, the one on, I'm not sure if the Nichols Road property was built specifically for that use. I know the home is fairly large, it's not a single-family home,
Right.
so. I don't believe that we come, their whole argument is that they're totally, supposedly exempt from our zoning, but they're not exempt from our site plan because there's a change of use. So we need to know whether that, how many people are gonna live there? What's the parking like and what's the septic like if you can, or unless they're gonna just comply to what's there. 3-bedroom house, or I don't know what it is, they don't tell us.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I don't see anything on here where it says what they're doing with the structure, whether using it as is or.
Talk about DHHS and everything else, but they don't really say exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's why I asked if the history isn't so much the history of the house, the history of this, whoever wrote the letter.
And this is
Seems like
an
it's-
endeavor that's for profit, or?
AW Holdings is a nonprofit.
Non-profit.
Yeah, yeah.
And even without all this references to the RSAs that address this concern that they think they have, it would be permissible anyways as a, unless it's only permissible as a home business. But we have an example of such a facility here in town already in I don't know if Nichols is rural or residential or agricultural.
Considering other things where I recently wrote a letter, I would prefer that our council replies to this letter. Already got one lawsuit over, well, my letter's part of it.
Yeah, she just wrote, she wanted to be clear on our end. She said, "Oh, I understand, just want to be clear on our end. What we are seeking for confirmation, and that the planning board did not think we were looking for a blank slate approval on the use."
They want
So
conceptual?
this is considered conceptual?
Conceptual, that's what I would
So
say.
it says, attached, you'll find our letter and attachment, which provides further information regarding zoning preemption. Please note, we're not seeking to sidestep the planning board requirements with regard to the use of the property, only that the use is allowed for a matter of right, so that a variance or special permit is not required. We understand requirements still exist with regard to the planning board, which will need to be met. As such, I'm not sure that the presentation to the planning board is a proper forum, but rather your code enforcement officer or legal counsel, which is not sidestepping
I did read that as
at all.
trying to find out whether her saying was allowed use. That's not the way I read that. What's the zone over there?
Kinda came in guns blazing.
Residential.
Right in the corner.
Yeah.
It's gotta be RA up there, isn't it?
I think so.
Is a residential, 54 is residential on 2.05 acres.
It's residential, it's R.
Residential. Has 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
Oh, so this is at the top of the hill?
I believe so, 64, I don't want to see it. It's an attached garage. Porch. Five bedrooms, 30 bucks. In 2003, they got a building permit to finish the 3rd floor, bedroom and bathroom. So there's 5 bedrooms, 4 baths.
Educational facility.
Well, 2 and 3 quarters square.
Right. It's at the top of the hill on the right, I think.
Isn't that an educational facility?
Yeah, educational, nursing homes.
Sounds
Sounds like it's within those two.
Sounds like allowed use to me.
Yes.
Oh, municipally owned and operated educational facilities.
Well, in reading over the paperwork I got, looks like it doesn't have to be an allowed use. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen. So,
Well, that's what they say.
so they intend to come in, Naomi, or this just,
Well, they wanna buy it, and then if they gotta come in, they have to. They're looking to see that they don't have to do the extra hurdle of variance or special exception.
oh,
That's what I got out of the letter.
I think the only thing that's to be municipally owned is the educational facilities, right? Nursing homes, right?
Pardon me? It's not municipally owned and operated.
Yeah, nursing home doesn't have to be municipally owned, just the educational facilities. It's not much different than a nursing home. Other than people are younger. Right? You're not teaching them anything, just helping them survive.
Assists individuals and families with home-based treatment, the do.
And I think it's 19. So 19A and B Nichols is the one that we already have.
Yeah, it's all about quality of life, it's all
That's
just
in rural
Yeah,
agriculture,
they're-
they have 6
like
bedrooms.
nursing homes.
I don't see algebra mentioned anywhere.
Huh?
I don't see algebra mentioned anywhere.
No. Or how to fold clothes even.
Right.
What's the lot number on that?
The one that we have today,
Yeah.
40459-4.
401.
Well, in my opinion, since nursing homes is an allowed use, I agree it's an allowed use. Is that really what this letter's about?
Yeah, if all they're asking for, is if they're okay with zoning,
Right, and they understand that they.
the site plan's a different story, they know that, yeah.
And then her point to me was that they don't wanna buy it and then realize they have to get a variance and they can't do what they wanna do.
Right.
It's a little bit smaller than the one on Nichols Road, cause the one on Nichols Road has 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. And I think they came for site plan. I remember the Nichols Road years ago
Oh,
coming for
I
site
know
Nichols
plan.
Road sounds familiar for some reason, but I don't know
Yeah.
why.
It's got a fairly long driveway, it's not right
It's
on
not
the
at the
road.
top, it's on the right. down in the hollow.
Okay,
I think the Wilcoxes used to live there.
that's Windsor now.
Right.
That's, yeah.
Yes, on cul-de-sac. Yeah.
And
House
there's,
is being bought
as
by.
far as parking, there's a lot of parking.
Not worried about that today.
I know that, just as an
Is it-
FYI.
Did you say zone, that zone lets the nursing home, whatever, go in that zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, nursing homes allowed, but also, well, municipally owned and operated educational facilities, comma, nursing home. So I view this,
Yeah,
this is more of a nursing home than an educational facility anyway, so.
yeah, it's for,
I think it abuts that lot that was for sale on 114 that the state won't give a driveway permit for.
no, Brown Ridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go up Martin Road and then Brown Ridge.
Yeah, but doesn't that abut 114 on the
No.
town mill side?
No.
the other side.
Yeah, it's only separated by one lot there, right?
Yeah, it's, I think that's,
Single-sided.
what you call its lot. That's,
Oh, is there a house there?
the garage is on that lot.
Oh.
BC Auto's on that
BC.
lot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they got a 7-acre lot that they can subdivide there, I think.
Could be, see?
And he's selling it too, I think he's retiring, isn't he?
He's trying to sell it.
Well, that's my agenda. I looked at that.
So what have we decided? They need a site plan?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, they
allowable
need a site plan.
as
It's
far
per-
as
it's permissible,
use,
yes.
But they would need site plan to make
Correct.
the change.
Right,
Yes,
Is that correct?
correct.
yeah, use allowed.
But the change of use comes from site plan.
Correct.
Because it's a single-family home to a,
Commercial.
Facility.
So yes.
Multi-resident home.
what article was that? Was that
17.1-ish?
17.1 is the building permits.
17.2.1. What?
2.1?
I can reply back to him, saves us a few dollars. And all your zoning articles passed, did you know that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Shocker.
Well, the deliberative didn't even talk about it, did they?
No.
That's why I saw your picture there, Bruce.
Was I looking good that day?
You were looking good.
We do have to elect, we should elect officers too.
Yeah, the whole board's here, except for Benji.
You can't be an officer
And
anyway.
that's,
Right.
actually, that'll probably change later,
Yeah.
because they're gonna elect what boards they sit on, that could change too.
So I nominate Pastor Bill for secretary.
Okay, I was gonna just make a slate nomination.
Oh,
You're not gonna nominate yourself, are you?
You can nominate the three of us as one slate.
I was gonna say, let's retain the same slate. That's my
That
motion.
makes it easier.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then you're not voting, that's good. What else we got?
You want to talk,
You wanna talk about master plan?
well, before you do that, does anybody have a copy of the, private road ordinances and stuff to put in the zoning board?
Yeah, because
I sent you stuff today. Craig and I sent you.
you sent stuff, but you asked me about that, I don't know,
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know where to start.
Craig had a PDF that was fuzzy. He sent them today. You should have got a copy.
Probably that one email.
And those notes are at home.
Is that 37?
one
Did you talk
page.
about
Article
Yeah.
37, yeah.
There's a whole bunch of copies of it.
It says, Article 7?
37.
37.
Yeah, but the first says
Oh,
Article
that's about
7.
the definition.
Okay.
Oh, that's Article 7, there's the warrant.
Oh, okay.
Is it fuzzy?
Oh, yeah,
You can read it, though.
yeah, it's legible. You know what one?
I got one of my-
Yeah, Article 37 needs to be added. I might have a clean copy,
If you do,
a cleaner copy at home in my,
Okay.
You want a copy of
But
that?
this is the one we're missing.
no, I'm all set.
correct,
This is
that's,
the one we're missing?
Yeah,
It's not in
yes.
there?
That's what Tony sent me in, 6, 8 months ago, and, because I think this is it. And it sure looks like it should be it.
I got a cleaner copy of that, than,
Yeah.
it's still
Still fuzzy, huh?
fuzzy, but hang on.
Anything else? You wanna talk about master plan now, or you wanna wait till 2 weeks from now?
You have two things for 2 weeks from now. You have a conceptual, and you have a second-hand branch.
Second Chance Ranch?
New
That's
Boston.
the rescue dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then you have a conceptual, and that's all that, the is coming on, so. And then I posted, I think, other business and minutes and for the 20th. I think you should dive into the master plan at some point,
Me too.
because I think we need to do the survey monkey, we need to do some other things.
Well, could you have a GoFundMe,
That's a good idea.
Well,
What was
So-
with that, this is the kind of on subject here. There were cars being passed out at the polls with a QR code to take a poll on
Yeah, that was for transportation.
transportation.
that's right, yeah, that's also linked on the webpage.
Yeah, and I put it on a Facebook page. What we're trying to do is see what the need is. And we worked together, I say I spent a lot of time and I have this hand in hand. And there's need. It's just,
Well, other towns have like vans that they,
and we have an opportunity to maybe work with caregivers or another private company. New Boston does one, but without knowing the need. And the survey we're looking for it's multi-generational, so we need everybody to fill it out. Because you may know somebody that you're not gonna say anything about,
right.
and you don't drive at night or something like that. We just need to know what we're looking for, because we can't take the next step until we know what our need is.
Yeah. Well, so it was put to me to say, well, ask your congregation, but our congregation covers each other. So all of the seniors who fall into that category either have a family member, a neighbor, or someone else from church who takes care of that for them.
Right.
So,
Is it a doctor's appointment? or-
yeah, yeah. Or even a ride to church, I mean, that's, you know,
Or to an event, if they put on a senior event, some people won't drive.
right.
And if the family member's working, then it's tough to get someone, if the seniors decide to go on a trip, and if you don't drive, how do you get there? Or how do you get home from there, you know? There's like 18 questions. You can do it online and just submit it, it's anonymous.
Yeah.
Didn't take long, that's for sure.
I know I did it too ugly, I'm like, you know what, got nobody here, I'll just do the QR code and do it again.
Yeah.
But it's on, I put it on Facebook today, it's on our website. I think everybody else was sharing it, I think police and DPW was sharing it, and I get other organizations to share it. Cause it's not senior transportation, it's just transportation service.
That's on the town website?
It is.
Bruce, I found an email that you sent to me at one time, said you asked Plan Link about their master plan, how they're updating it or something like that. God, typical questions. Did you do that?
I put the emails in the folder, I'll find them.
Okay,
I saved them.
okay.
There was a couple people responding.
So, we had gone through, well, I got 2 copies of this. The
Questions? Yep.
implementation action table. And we had gone through all that and made an assessment as to whether that was completed or not. So I think if we're gonna go forward with changes beyond just doing the survey again, that would give us a focus point as to say, okay, this wasn't implemented. Going through the demographic representation that the report gave us, we're like 4,000 people shy of what they projected. So the growth hadn't happened. The other part of that puzzle is what are our current zoning keep that growth in check? I can't remember how many permits can be given out for any particular builder a year annually.
That's all expired.
That's all expired, that doesn't apply anymore?
Right.
Okay, oh, so that was just for a short period of time?
Yeah, that was
Okay, to curb the growth.
Until we go to school.
Okay, so now that's not there any longer, so, some of that, and then the other part of the puzzle is that we're on a default budget now, right, again? So we don't even have a full-time inspector.
You're gonna have a full-time building inspector.
No, that passed.
Oh, that article passed?
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's amazing to me, but I'm glad it did, but it still amazes me that it did.
okay,
You're supposed to do the search, but, yeah.
okay. That's good news. So that's gonna be a benefit to what potential growth could happen.
Huh?
If you've got a full-time inspector,
Oh,
the builder's gonna say, okay, I will go the risk to build, as opposed to, well, you get a part-time person who's only here once a week.
makes it tougher.
That worked,
Then
that
I
worked
don't,
well.
I don't even wanna build anything.
Just give them a picture after you did it. It worked every time.
Yeah, well, that was how, in COVID, that's how it
You've been
worked.
down that road, huh, Chuck?
Been there, done that, huh?
So do everyone have a copy of this?
Yes.
Yes.
So then, we need to ask the question of the question. Are these questions still legit? What do we need to do to change them, or?
I think that question, and I think Bruce has a lot more questions, sample questions, and a couple
I'll
emails
print
he
them
got.
out.
I know,
Okay.
I got a list of somebody else, so I don't know which town it was now. Two other towns just did it.
But then also going back, like I said earlier, about those action steps, the action table in the back of the report, to use that as the foundation to examine what we need to fix or address. If we're not gonna redo the whole thing,
I think a survey is a good idea, myself, if we can get it done somehow.
well, if we can do it in Screen Monkey and, not Screen Monkey, is that
Survey
what it is?
Monkey.
Survey Monkey. Screen Monkey's something else.
Sewer monkey?
Yeah, it's something we use at church.
I don't
It's
think
like a
I wanna know.
projection,
I don't think I wanna know.
projection software that's free. And it doesn't always work right, but,
That's why it's free.
yeah. So, even within the first page, transportation, we could easily either reference that present survey that's being addressed, or add those questions into this. So now the question becomes, when and where and how? And do we need meet separately to do this, or we still need to meet publicly to do this? Or can we identify a subcommittee to?
Well, if you do a subcommittee, it's still a public meeting.
Right. So if we want to get the information to us, and as far as those other additional questions.
Yeah, well,
And then we'll go from there.
Let's get the additional let's get all the questions spread out, even that thing that you have, we'll spread that around again too, to make sure everybody has it. And hopefully we can all have a chance to review it before next meeting. If we have a conceptual and one,
You have a conceptual and design review site plan. You've
Right.
already,
that's not gonna take long.
no, and then you would also have the second, in April, you've got nothing on that, you know what I mean, so you could devote it to that.
Right. I was just thinking by the end of
For the
April.
work session,
Yeah. You're
And,
not
and,
doing
and just, well, is it able to be safeguarded that way?
Don't take any applications for that work session?
Correct, right. It's a work session. Technically, I mean, we're giving grace to have them come in.
The conceptuals to come in as they did, so in case they wanna buy something or do something, I just gave them a few minutes and then move on. I have nothing right now.
I personally think we should always let conceptuals come in anytime they want. If somebody applies
Yeah, me too, but
this
if anybody,
morning, if we can somehow get it together, I think we should.
but if anybody's gonna submit a full application, we can say, hold
So-
on till the last
Oh,
meeting.
yeah.
Oh, a full application
That's
has to
different.
meet the deadline.
Yeah.
Correct.
The conceptual, if you say, no, you can't have conceptuals for 2 more weeks, lots of times the project is either,
Or another month.
yeah, or another month. One of two things happen, either the project died because he's not gonna wait a month, or 2, it's way beyond the
Yeah.
conceptual stage now.
I
and-
think you should do part of your agenda regardless of master plan stuff, if that's where we're gonna go. Because there is no money, but, I mean, there's avenues we can do it.
Great. Well, I can't be here the next meeting, so. It's Holy Week, I got a service.
That's right too.
Next Thursday,
Well, we can hold off till the first week of April.
The first meeting in April?
Yeah,
Which is what, this,
11? No, 12? 11? April 11th. So what are you gonna circulate that, and
Yeah.
I can get you the other, well, you all know the other questions, but I can send you all the survey questions too,
yeah,
that we printed from hard copies.
yeah, then we'll look at it all on April 11th.
So you're gonna send out
That
a
works.
copy of this?
yeah. This
This
is,
survey.
this has already been sent out,
You'll send it out again.
so I don't know I think Craig sent it.
Oh, really? I never saw it.
I mean, I can
Craig,
scan
because
it and
it's-
send them both together. Cause I can scan it and then I can send.
Because this, I got both of these from you. This and this was at the end of that report, and you have the report.
I have the report. Yes, I
So
do.
at the end of the report,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
there.
I know what it is.
Yeah,
So what-
right
what-
here, somewhere. Yes, I do have it.
And then Bruce has got some additional,
Yeah, I put out a question, put out a couple questions on the
we could all do
plan, like
that,
it's
right?
called. I got a bunch of responses from different towns.
So this section here before the appendix
Yep.
is what we reviewed. But I mean, I didn't write on this one. I started to, but I said, why bother? I already had it over here, so.
Okay,
So what, are you just gonna swap a bunch of emails?
yes.
When you tag me, I'll tag you back with, the transportation one.
Sounds good. You done? All in favor? Bruce made a motion, Chuck seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Staying, opposed, window, I'll flip the switch.
Are you supposed to-